if you are on the phone with any of your builder representatives, sales office, anybody like that, record those conversations.
I've told my clients, hey, put my name in there.
Yes, for
and,
sure.
I'll take a meeting. I'll drive up and I'll meet a bunch of you and we can talk because strength in numbers and that kind of thing.
I would love to be there for that.
That's huge. Yeah, you'd be perfect.
I'd have fun. If we can just get them to say they're using something other than warm water, then we're done.
Right, yeah.
We just saved 10
We
grand.
won, folks.
Did you
Or 30
see,
grand.
Did you see the box that somehow came in?
I've had customers literally tell me that the building supervisor told them to use a specific floor cleaning material. And then when the warranty people came up, they're like, well, so-and-so, your builder rep told me to use this. And you were like, oh, I don't think he would have told you that. I don't believe he told you that. But I'm sorry, you just voided your floor warranty.
That's rough.
It's happening.
I know.
It's happening.
We're not all doom and gloom here.
The information shared on this podcast is for informational and educational purposes only and does not constitute legal advice. Participation by Robert Rutila or RSN Law on this show does not create an attorney-client relationship with any listener. Laws vary by jurisdiction and change over time, so you should consult a licensed attorney in your area regarding your specific situation before acting on anything discussed here.
Welcome to the Preppy Jarhead Podcast. This is Sean, the Jarhead, and with us today we have special guest Rob Rutila, and he's with RSN Law. Did I
Yes.
say that right?
You said it right, Sean. Good to see you. It's Rutila, Siped, and Nash, but RSN Law is our call sign, I guess you could say.
Okay, perfect. And we also have Nikki Doherty, who is my lovely wife. Say hello.
Hi.
All right. And so, Rob, how long have you been an attorney?
I've been practicing law since 1998.
98.
Yes, I'm licensed in California. That's where I started my practice.
Okay.
And then I moved to Arizona in 1999. So pretty much the majority, if not almost all my practice has been here in
For
Phoenix.
quite a while.
Yep.
How long? Okay, so like for school, how long is school to become an attorney?
College, 4 years,
Okay.
whatever it takes you, and then 3 years of law school.
Okay.
So it's doable.
And then you gotta like take the bar.
You got to take the bar.
Is that for each state, or is it applicable per all states? Or
Every state, well, I'll back up. Every state requires you to be licensed to practice law that I
Right.
know of. California has a bar exam. Arizona has a bar exam.
okay,
California's bar exam is widely regarded as one of the most difficult in the country. It's 3 days long, and,
Wow.
and it's pretty difficult. But the middle section of the exam is called, I think, the multi-state, and it's multiple choice.
okay.
Arizona shares that same, exam.
Well, that's neat.
So they take it on the same days. The California students take it on, 3 days, and
Okay.
then Arizona just take it on 2.
Yeah.
And it's state specific. The laws of the states differ in various ways. So yes, I took the California bar exam in '98, passed it, and then I took the Arizona bar exam the next year when I moved back to Arizona.
Very cool. So I got to ask,
Wow.
why would you want to move from California to Arizona?
Well, it's a long story. I'm from Phoenix. I'm born and raised
Oh,
in Arizona.
okay.
Yeah, so that's my background.
I guess that would make sense then.
Yeah, I went to school at Brophy here in town.
Yeah.
Went away to school, the University of Michigan, then went to law school in the Bay Area. So I stayed and studied in the Bay Area, Santa Clara, for 3 years, and then took the bar exam, practiced for a year. Then my parents were here, and I was coming back, and then having contacts in the area.
That helps when you're starting.
Yes, absolutely.
Heck
and
yeah.
Yeah.
realized that eventually I'd want to own my own business, which is what's happened, and you need to have clients to do that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
A few of them help
few.
to pay the bills. Yeah.
Yes.
Heck yeah. And then Nikki, you are a real estate agent with My Home Group. And how many years have you been in real estate?
Started yesterday.
Started yesterday. Yeah. Okay.
Excellent.
Yeah, right.
16 years.
16. And you
16
actually
years.
did you worked in real estate prior to that too, right?
Yeah, so actually I had attended school a few years previous to that, but at the time we were going through some family issues. We had a death in the family, so I kind of put that on hold. But I worked in the Valley doing broker price opinions, and so I'll save you all the lengthy description of what that is, but basically that just means my background is in valuation. Before I worked with the public, I kind of worked behind the scenes for the banks, doing unofficial appraisals.
Yeah, very cool. All right, well, we'll jump in. I think this is going to be a really educational episode. I think this is going to be very, very useful. I think out of all of the episodes that we've actually done, I think this is probably the most important that we've done is according to like representing home buyers in the new build and real estate market. So I think this one is really important, and this is probably going to change the flow of our entire platform on how we do things in the future. So I'm really excited about this. I'm looking at, we're going to probably cover some real estate legal issues. We're going to have some fun with some rapid fire real estate legal questions. Talking about somewhat of like some like home buyers and homeowners legal rights, common misconceptions, and my favorite, maybe yours as well, but also how to file an ROC complaint here in the state of Arizona, because I do love filing.
You have a unique definition of fun.
Yeah.
That's very unique.
Yeah. So I'm actually looking forward to getting deep into the ROC complaints and how to file those. But right now, please click that subscribe button, click the follow button, share this with all of your friends, especially anyone that is looking at buying a new build home or anyone that has recently bought a new home. And if they need a referral for an attorney that could help them, then we have the perfect person for you. Yeah, absolutely. I would like to say thank you in advance, because we have sent your information to a lot of our customers. And I really appreciate the fact that we've gotten a lot of great feedback. And so thank you for taking care of our customers. That was ultimately the most important. So thank you for that.
Absolutely. That's my job.
Yeah,
I'd like to do it.
Thank you so much. So I'm going to start with a couple rapid fire questions. These are coming from our followers. So this is kind of funny. It's not meant to be too legalistic, but if a home was haunted, how would the seller disclosures read? Anybody?
Is that just for either one of us?
Yeah, it'd be for any of you. So, like, is it going to say in the disclosure, like, home makes dragging chain noises or screaming cats in the attic in the middle of the night? Like, any idea? Like,
is this a serious question? I feel like it's so subjective.
Oh, we can't start off too serious.
Again, I guess I would advise my client that that's a matter of opinion. I mean, what they're hearing that sounds like chains could be the neighbor's workout room. I mean, I don't know. I guess I don't know. Let's see what he...
I don't have any hair on my head, but they're tingling. I look at it as what are you required to disclose?
Right.
And unfortunately, off the top of my head, I don't know if you're required to disclose whether
there's a haunted house,
ghosts or haunted house.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I have to be the bah humbug and rain on your parade of your question. So I don't have a direct answer, so I don't want to give one.
Yeah. Well, I think my seller disclosure would be...
Let's all Google whether or not... I'll be dead on it. Like, here, you've got two extras here. Let's Google whether or not you have to disclose haunting in the state of Arizona.
Well, that was fun. All right, so let's go. So another question, rapid fire. Have you ever seen a dispute over something ridiculous?
Define ridiculous.
Oh, man.
I have a job because there's a lot of ridiculous stuff out there.
Yeah.
Let me think about that. That's a hard question, to be honest.
Well, maybe we'll come back to it.
Yeah, we might come back to it, but I mean, right now I'm just knee deep in construction defects.
Yeah.
And some of the things I see are ridiculous.
Yeah.
And you can point those out.
Yeah.
Just the quality of some of the work out there is ridiculous. But as far as like ridiculous and funny, I'll have to think about it.
Okay. All right. And in real estate, you probably see some things that the buyers and sellers are arguing about. Have you ever seen anything like...
Recently,
are we seriously?
As a matter of fact.
What do you got?
Honestly, I feel like they are so client specific that if I answer that question, the client's going to know I'm talking about them, and I'd rather refrain.
Okay,
from
we'll
that.
skip it.
But yes, there's a lot of ridiculousness.
Yeah. I mean, it's real estate, so it gets emotional sometimes. So, of course, we're going to run into some things that are important to some people that may seem ridiculous to others.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
It might be ridiculous sometimes. I think the pickier you are, the pettier you're willing to become, and the more ridiculous the argument may tend to be.
Well, this can be for both of you. Do you have one?
Well, it harkens back to a few years ago, and like I said, it's in the eye of the beholder what is ridiculous.
Right,
Sure.
Right.
But we did have a client, the firm did, where there was a matter of a cactus relocation.
Okay.
And this was more of an HOA, and insert laughter here, matter, because the HOA was making real noises about where they put this cactus.
Okay.
And we were talking feet.
Wow,
I mean, I know there's
really?
egress, regress, and there's a lot of things, and real estate is
Right.
based on exact specifications. But this was a matter of feet in a desert location.
Like an aesthetic point of view.
Within 2 feet.
It's not blocking an RV gate entrance.
No, it didn't block anyone's access view or anything.
Right.
It was just, and that's an internal, like a personal dispute.
Sure.
That turned into a legal one where thousands of dollars were being spent.
It probably was more of a flex.
Honestly,
absolute flex.
It was. Somebody could have said, okay, we're fine, and they chose not to.
Absolutely, and that's
Yeah,
what
I
I
agree,
mean.
that's ridiculous.
I would come back, travel out to that area of Phoenix, North Scottsdale, wink, wink, and come back to the office and say, oh my God, my client just paid me to travel back and forth for a
locate a
homeowners
cactus.
meeting where I sat for 3 hours to have a 2-minute conversation of my client objects to that, wants to put in the minutes that.
That's dedication.
It's dedication.
It was.
Oh yeah, I'd do
Go the
anything.
extra mile.
I won't do anything, but
Right.
I will do what I need to do. But just thinking the money being spent on this by both sides is just ridiculous.
Somebody let it go.
They let it go. I mean, you should, and like you said, it's a flex. It's who's got more
Who's
sway.
gonna win? Who's got the money? Who's got the deeper pockets?
Absolutely.
To fight the fight
But
longer.
that's a good question. But yeah,
That's a
that
fun
comes to
question.
mind.
Okay.
And it's summer and it's hot, and I'm thinking cactus. So.
I won't throw too many stupid questions at you, but here's another dumb one. What causes more problems? Bad roofs, bad contracts, or bad relatives?
Relatives.
Relatives?
I can't speak to the relatives.
Well, good for you.
Yeah, I'm lucky. I'm lucky. I'm very lucky.
Yeah.
Let's see. I would say bad decks, but that's because of rain and water and
Would you say
infiltration.
roofs, relatives, and contracts?
Yeah.
Honestly, again, it's a fun question. They all have the potential.
Yeah,
to-
they all can spiral out of
Yeah.
control
Well,
quickly.
Yeah.
I think almost every case I have has a contract dispute
Yeah,
somewhere.
yeah.
I was gonna say the roof can be relatively easily rectified without hurt feelings or whatever. Contracts can become quite messy, and relatives can be also very, very messy.
Well, the contracts are black and white, but sometimes the roofs could be like, well, this roofer says the roof is at the end of its life, but this one says it has another 10 years. So that could create a lot of stress
but your
too.
major decision there is who you believe. You
Yeah.
replace it or you don't. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
That's true.
All right, so one more. Funniest thing that you've ever seen two neighbors argue about? Probably haven't dealt with anything like that recently. No?
I mean,
Is this one of those I can't talk about this right now?
we maybe had a half-clothed neighbor come over our back wall.
Oh, yeah, that's right,
to
we
fight
did.
Over a
Oh, my-
wall. on a-
Yeah. Yeah, our
God.
neighbor
Yeah.
wanted a block wall where we live on acreage.
Really,
Yeah, yeah.
And so we had views,
I had a nice 5-rail
wanted to
white
put a
vinyl
block
fence.
wall up. We
The
had
mountains
vinyl
are right
fence,
there,
and
yeah.
he's like, hey, I want you to pay half of our block wall. And we're like,
And
well,
I
we
want
don't
to
want a
take
block
down
wall.
your vinyl fence and sell it to help support my half of the block wall.
Yeah, so you want to take down my fence to pay for your block wall that we
Yeah,
don't want.
yeah.
And he thought that we didn't know where our boundary lines were at, but it ended up being like
I
3
own
feet
6 feet into his
driveway.
that I'm
Yeah.
letting go.
Oh.
That I'm letting go.
Yeah.
Because he uses it for work. So.
Yeah. So it was interesting. And so when we were
Awesome.
arguing, he came over our vinyl fence half naked and was
Shirt off, pants unbuttoned. I
and
don't
his
know
wife
what
is
triggered-
screaming
yeah,
at him.
Oh my God.
She's like, he's gonna kill you. Come back. He's gonna kill you.
Have you seen me?
Yeah, it was very interesting.
It
So
was,
Unreal.
It was great, though. We get along great with them.
with them now.
They're great
it
people.
Was
I
it
love
was a
them.
stressful moment. It was an emotional thing. There again, emotions make
Yeah,
people
yeah.
do crazy things.
I
But
was
yeah,
like
that's,
fresh out of the military, and I'm still kind of
Yeah.
like reactive.
I was
That's
just
a good
stunned.
word.
It was like Sunday after church. We were sitting on our swing on the back patio doing things country people do, watching the
chilling.
birds in the
Yeah.
mountains.
The dog
and literally,
barking.
here comes this guy over. I didn't even know what to do. I just was awestruck.
Oh man.
Anyway, all right. So we started off light. Let's get down to the meat and potatoes. I'm really interested in talking about like some of the like bigger cases that are going on, right? Like maybe some of the bigger trends or some bigger cases. And I know you can't get too deep in a lot of these, but like even if it's not a recent case, but like what are some of the bigger cases that people should know about?
Oh, well, I guess the trend I'm personally seeing it's twofold. It's things I am personally representing clients on,
Right.
and because of just the nature of what's going on, and I think a lot of people have bought houses in the last few years, and they're seeing a lot of the same issues coming up. So as far as trends, construction defects in the realm of, like we said, roofs. I'm seeing window infiltration of water or pests or whatnot.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Tiles, flooring tiles,
That's huge.
huge. almost every case I have has flooring issues.
Right. That's like the easy gotcha.
It's an easy gotcha, and you could speak to the lippage and all that.
Yeah.
But it's all the same.
Yeah.
And so I have some cases here in Phoenix, and I have some cases in Prescott Valley, which is interesting because that seems to be a trend of that
The creative
development up there.
Interesting.
And so in a former life, as I like to say, I was a plaintiff's class action lawyer.
Okay.
And so my hat and my spidey sense is, going off.
Right.
Because I'm hearing the same things with 2 houses up in Prescott Valley, and that makes me think, is there a soil issue? And it just, so that's, I'm focused on that trend up there.
Nice.
It's not like I have an investigative force that I'm going to send and blanket the area or go send flyers and get people involved. That's my old life. But it is interesting because there are people, and there's like a neighborhood watch group, and they're talking about it. So I've told my clients, hey, put my name in there.
Yes, for
and,
sure.
I'll take a meeting. I'll drive up and I'll meet a bunch of you, and we can talk, because strength in numbers and that kind of thing.
I would love to be there for that.
That's huge. Yeah, you'd be perfect.
I'd have fun.
You would be perfect.
Yeah.
And just, hey, let me look and see what's going on. What did the builder say to do? What are they offering to do? What did they do and it didn't work? And so that's like on a micro level. On a macro level, and I know I've discussed with you before, Sean, how I'm part of a court news network where I basically get, every day I get the recent filings. I get a listing of all the filings, plaintiffs, defendants, cause of action. And at this point, my my very basic math, rudimentary math, excuse my language, at this point, my very basic math is showing that upwards of 15 to 17% of cases filed in Maricopa County involve some sort of contracting entity. So plaintiffs, homeowners, it's either a contractual dispute or a construction defect dispute, like a non-payment or wrongful work, workmanship standards are being violated. I'm seeing that. And that's just, like I said, that's basic math. That's just me looking, saying, oh, that's a construction company. Oh, that's a construction company. Oh, that's a developer.
Sure.
Not to name names, but the big dogs. Yeah. And so I'm seeing a lot of that. So 15 to 17% just on my basic math. Yeah. So that's pretty big. Something's happening out there. I think people are getting emboldened. I think shows like yours, inspectors that are out there that we know of, you and other ones, Cy. Yeah. They're out there and they're busy. You're busy, and homeowners aren't taking this lightly. They're paying a lot of money now because of the market, and you can talk to that, Nikki. The market is what it is and has been, and people are not going to take it lying down. Yeah. So I think they're filing, and I don't have privy to the ROC, their filings. Right. But they have, based on my experience, they have to be up. They just have to.
Oh, it's blooming.
It has
for
to.
sure. From what we're seeing every single day, and then I'm taking 2 and 3 calls a day. I need help filing an ROC complaint, and I'm like, yes, I'm happy to help you with that.
Sure.
Because there's got to be accountability. Because the one thing that I am absolutely just wore out, and I'll use the word fed up with, is when I let a homeowner know that a specific defect, and then they go to the builder and they say, hey, we need this fixed. And they're like, oh, we don't do that. And we're like, oh, you don't do that. You don't follow the minimum workmanship standards. Okay, interesting. Not literally, let's make a bet. But it's like, okay, I'll see we don't do that, and I will raise you an ROC complaint. And let's see
who's
if
right.
you do this or not.
Yeah.
Oh, be darn, you sure do. Yeah, so that's the card game I'm playing a lot lately, and I know that's what we've been tossing a lot towards you, and you've been helping out with, is helping people with the ROCs, and it's blooming. Yeah, it's.
Well, and not that this is really a thoughtful 2 cents, but just settings like this. Mm-hmm. Getting your name out there, letting people know, hey, there's lawyers out there that are ready and equipped to help you. You and Cy and other. I'm not sure there's home inspectors.
I talk to home inspectors all the time.
And really, it's not about how well known are you. It's really just about your mission. And you guys have a mission right now to really educate. And then I think agents, you guys are doing good things. And I think it all kind of rolls downhill. I think as inspectors, you're emboldening and educating people. And now agents are like, wait a minute, yes, I want to educate my clients as well. So the 3 of us are so very necessary in the industry, not us individually. I'd like to think we are, but just the roles. a home inspector, you know, a realtor, and then we hope it doesn't have to land on your desk, but if it does, thank God,
Yeah.
you know,
It
that you
happens.
do what you do. And I think back in the day, there was a common misconception that, you know, you're represented by the builder if you go in there without a realtor. So
Yeah,
I think
we're actually going
all
to
of
get to that
these
as well.
conversations are so good because we're equipping the consumers with the information to go in there and be educated and not settle for what you would have had to have settled before and not even known that you were settling.
Yeah, and we've taught classes together.
Yes. we
And
have.
those were rooms full of real estate agents just ready to absorb.
Yeah.
Sponges. Yep.
Yeah, like sponges,
Yeah.
just trying to take up everything that we were
I
trying
think
to
it's
say.
one of the most valuable topics you can take around. I mean, keep doing your classes because it's huge right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's an important thing, and this podcast is important because it's on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
People can freely rewind, listen to it, go
Yep.
back
Take
to
notes,
it, take
yep.
notes, and I know we'll give information later of links and where to go.
Yep.
And that's huge because I don't think this medium wasn't available 20, 25 years ago.
Right.
Right?
And
Right.
so you had to go down to the ROC office, pull out a complaint form, look at it, you know, and ask someone, and they probably were helpful. But that's a process. And if you live in Prescott or if
Right.
you live in Flagstaff, you might not have a local office.
It's a long drive.
Yeah, it's a long drive.
Yeah, yeah. Or you get the sorry, we can't
Or the
help you
clo-
fill this out. You
Right.
know, you have to talk to an attorney to help you help yourself. And it's like, well, that's like you use a piece of paper. Yeah,
People would be discouraged just simply for the inconvenience of it all, the intimidation of it all.
it sounds hard.
Absolutely.
And so now there's help.
And we're here to tell you
yeah.
that this is easy. This is very, very easy. And if you hang in with us, we're going to tell you exactly how to do it. And it's a matter of probably 3 steps, and it's very, very easy.
And fun.
Yeah, and fun. Yes, it is.
According to Sean.
Sean
Call
thinks
for
it's
the
fun. Usually comes to me when it's not too
Not
fun.
Yeah, it's probably not very fun anymore by the time it makes
But Sean
it to
likes to
your
argue too, so
Well, I don't get paid to argue.
No.
So whatever. Yeah. How about, is there any, I don't know if you're in the loop on it, but it's just a general question. Are you in the loop of any like legislative changes that might be coming?
no, unfortunately I'm not. I'm like
Okay.
anyone else. What I read and see.
Yeah. I am aware of some that's coming up, but I'm not going to talk about those. I'm going to leave that for a different guest, and I don't want to let anything out that we're not supposed to talk about yet. So that'll be for that person at that time. But I think there is some kind of things that
Great.
are coming up. How about any favorite cases? You were like, oh man, I'm really glad that we got to do this.
personal best.
Couple I can't talk about.
Okay. All right.
I'll think about it, but
Okay. Yeah.
every case, it's funny. I thought about this as I was coming over to this podcast. I mean, every client's important. Every case is important. I treat them all the same in that vein. Some does, require special attention for whatever reason. But there are some that just stand out over time. Some of my first cases when I was a young attorney,
Yeah.
just because they're traumatic and you remember the lessons. And then there's some victories that are just impressive to you, to remember.
Yep.
The teamwork that went into them. So I'll think about it and maybe we can supplement the podcast. But no, every case, and I move on. I have so many cases. I'm moving on. I'm settling cases and getting results.
Yeah.
Hopefully satisfying my clients, which I'm in business and I'm doing well, so I hope I am. And most of it is referral by word of mouth.
Sure.
I mean, I get some from our internet. I get some from people
Being
like
the area
you.
experts.
Yeah, and experts. Oh, yeah, consulting experts who's like, Rob did this. This was crazy.
100%.
But yeah, I'll get back to you on that.
No, if you think of something, that'd be
Sure.
interesting just to hear about that,
Well,
because
as
I
we-
have my favorites for sure.
Well, as we talk, things get like the cactus story.
Yeah.
It just comes up.
It just comes
Yeah.
in. I'm not going to mention a builder's name unless you were like, yeah, you can throw that builder's name out there. It doesn't matter. But I do have a builder that originally really bothered me because they were like the first that were jumping out there. In my experience, they were the first to say, hey, no roof inspection, no electrical panel inspection, and oh yeah, and you're not allowed to go in the attic either. And that was very frustrating. So I originally had a favorite builder to not like. And then I ran into other situations where there was a builder that my new non-favorite would be a builder that was like, oh, you can buy our home, but you are not allowed to have any inspection at all, which was very interesting. And then my new favorite right now, I think, is a builder that I won't mention, but a lot of people feel like they're buying a luxury home, and then and it ends up having a lot of issues, and they're refusing to make a lot of those repairs. So that's my new favorite one
Don't
to
they even
to
refer
deal.
to themselves kind of?
No, I don't know.
Well, I have I guess, I don't know if it's a favorite case, but a remarkable case.
Yeah.
That's just recently, too. And it involved an ROC citation,
Okay.
110 corrective work items.
Great.
Which was then an all-time record.
Okay.
I'd never seen, I've been practicing 27 years
Yeah.
and hundreds of ROC complaints.
Yeah.
Maybe 10, 15 corrective work items.
Oh, right.
And when I saw the report
Yeah.
and the notes from the investigator, I couldn't believe it. It was like 10 pages long.
Yeah.
It was unreal.
Love it. That sounds like a case I was going to bring up.
Maybe
Well,
it is.
it's against one of the big ones in town, and we resolved it. And fellow Inspector Sy was amazed we got a result that we did.
Yeah.
It's not all me, the homeowner, and this is a message to homeowners out there. You have to be your best advocate. I can do what I can do, but
You
you
need your
started
inspector, right?
off, and you need your investigator, you need your inspector,
Yep.
but you need to really, dot your I's and cross your T's before it gets to me, because you don't want to stand in the way, and we can talk more specifically of the
Yeah.
ways that can happen,
Yeah.
of getting a resolution or a settlement that will help you.
Well, aren't they kind of like speaking to what he's saying? I hear you sometimes, and stop me if I'm not supposed to say this, but I hear you sometimes saying, hey, the last thing you want to do is reschedule with them too many times, or the last thing you want to do is be difficult to deal with, because then they legally have the right to say, attempted twice, homeowner was difficult, moved on.
Grounds for dismissal, basically.
Right.
That was one of the things we're actually going to talk about, and that's some of the tips that we have. So I'll follow back up with that, but that is a great point of the level of cooperation and you limiting the builder or limiting access. Any of that stuff is a huge issue that I have that I'm going to recommend you always never do. I think you would agree. And so we're going to jump back into that. How about maybe just for you, jump in if you have it, but how about kind of like misconceptions? Like some people think this, but actually it's that. Anything that comes to mind?
Misconceptions about?
Oh, just like you don't need a real estate agent at the sales office.
Oh, I speak to that all the time. I think I'm a broken record. I think one of the most common misconceptions is that if you go on, well, first of all, if you're going to have a realtor, go with them on day one. There are some builders out there that are showing a little more grace, and they'll say, "Oh, just have them call me or send me over their W-9, whatever." Go with your realtor on your first visit, or have your realtor call or go in and register you, and then you can go without them.
Right.
Okay, so that's just a little bit of information, not necessarily a misconception. I think the biggest misconception right now is when you go in without a realtor and you sit down and there's this nice friendly face across the desk from you.
All smiles.
All smiles, and they're so charismatic and they're
Cooperative.
friendly and they're cool. Oh yes, I think that makes you
Accommodating.
feel, based on their actions, like there is an implied relationship there, and there most definitely is not. They represent the seller and the seller only. They are going to facilitate the drafting of the contract. You are going to sign it, and you are going to go unrepresented. You are not represented by that builder. As a matter of fact, helping you does not serve them. So go in there with representation. They do not represent you.
If I remember
or
correctly,
your best interest, to be honest. Doesn't mean they're not nice, but they don't represent your best interest.
if I remember correctly, that there are some real estate contracts, or let's just say builder contracts, that actually state that the information provided by the sales office is not required to be accurate or something in that sense. And it's like it is your responsibility to verify the information that they're giving you.
The verbiage isn't. I've seen several different versions of kind of what you're speaking to,
Yeah.
and I mean, every builder has their own contract. Some are less scary than others. I'll be very, very honest. But yeah, no, and they're also now starting to want to take on the position of your realtor can represent you to get paid, but we're not required to talk to them. So again, just kind of knowing the builder that you're working with, knowing maybe what the nuances are associated with that builder, what kind of restrictions are they going to have there. It's my job to know. It's not your job to know. Sometimes we call and we go into sales offices and we just familiarize ourselves with the people there. Can I see a copy of your contract? Probably not, but sometimes they're cool enough to do that because they want to build that relationship with a seasoned agent. A top producer agent certainly is going to have more pull. And that's not a brag, but I mean, they like to have the top producers on their team. We're bringing business to their offices.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
anyways, I got a little sidetracked there, but having an agent that understands the reputation of every different office you're walking into. Oh, this one's not going to let you have a home inspector on the roof. This one's not going to treat me with very much respect. And just so you know, I'm going to be begging for updates for the next 6 months because they're going to ignore me. I'm going to ask them to CC me on every email, but they're not going to. So at any rate, every builder is going to operate a little bit differently. If that matters to you, if you want to sit and have that conversation with your agent, then do. And you can maybe make your decision on what builder you decide to trust based off of how restrictive that builder is going to be with your agent and with your home inspector.
Yeah, great.
That just plays to the point of diligence and doing your research.
Yeah.
I mean, I think all your points are so valid. It makes me wonder, okay, if I'm in the new build market, I would hope the builder's representative would want to foster a good relationship with you, because you can represent to your clients, hey, listen, let's go here.
Some of them they treat us like family, and some of them they treat us like enemies.
It's unreal.
Yeah.
It's like, where did the business sense go?
I agree. How does this work for your business plan?
So,
I'm not sure you're serving yourself.
Yeah, unreal. I'm not in it at that level.
Right.
The problems come later. But
yeah.
I guess a misconception is, and like we've talked about, some states back east require a lawyer to purchase property.
Right.
Yep.
Arizona doesn't do that, but it never hurts if you are looking over these sales contracts to at least hire a real estate attorney,
Right.
to look it over and point out the red flags.
Right.
I mean, at least that way you're doing your diligence, your background, and then you go in with your eyes wide open.
Yep.
And then,
Agreed.
of course, Nikki, you can like finalize the deal and
Equip
put it.
and educate. Equip
Yes.
and educate.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's so many points that I want to make with that, and I think that's so awesome to build on, because people are going in with their real estate agent and they're getting the contracts explained to them, and then they're signing their purchase contracts, and then they're dropping their earnest money, and then come inspection time, they're like, oh, we have this rule where your home inspector isn't allowed to go on the roof, not allowed to go in the attic, not allowed to inspect the electrical panel. I was like, well, where in my contract did it state any of that? They're like, oh, well, we have this addendum that we never showed you.
Right.
We have this on-site rules information that it was your responsibility to know about, even though we didn't tell you, and those are limitations that we have. And so it's very frustrating for me when builders are like, oh, surprise, we have some rules that we never told you. Yeah, we'll let you do a home inspection, but you only get one. And I'm not making this up. There are limitations to where, like, my typical home inspection can last 5 to 6 hours, and there are literally limitations that say home inspector is only allowed on site for 3 hours, or cannot show up until 9 a.m. but must be there no later than 1 p.m. Oh, and by the way, we're only going to give them probably 3 or 4 days notice, so you're going to end up with the home inspector that's sitting at home eating Cheetos waiting for their phone to ring. It's very,
you're not
very
gonna get one
frustrating.
of the big names out there that you guys are booked out months
You're not going to get someone that's any good, because they're the good ones are booked.
Well, that's not fair. That's not fair to say.
Question, Sean. What do they do when those restrictions are placed on these inspections? What do they do when you push back?
So,
I mean, do they give any, or?
Sometimes.
I mean, it's dependent on the builder.
I would say 50-50.
Okay.
50% of the time, if you push, they're going to say no. But if you push some more, they're like, well, let me ask. And if you push some more, they're like, well, let me talk to your supervisor.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Now they'll let you. Okay.
Okay.
If they keep pushing, yes, we have gotten limitations removed.
Are these inspections before close? Like
Yes, that's primarily what we're talking about, is the
Okay.
ones, because once it closes,
Yeah.
I don't care what the builder says.
I know.
I have no limitations.
They
There's
own the property,
nothing they
yes.
can say
But
to
what's their favorite trick with a pre-drywall, though?
Yeah.
with the we
Well, hurry up and get up the insulation so you can't see any of the wiring.
Yeah,
and
it's
walls,
like,
or-
oh, you've got,
5 seconds.
you've got 2 days to get the inspection done. I'm like, well, I'll get there at 6 o'clock at night and we'll figure this out. And then, and then you get there and it's like, oh, everything's covered in drywall. And I'm like, well, that's interesting.
That's odd.
We're supposed to be a pre-drywall inspection,
Yeah.
but you covered up all the wires with insulation and drywall, and now we can't see anything. Yeah, so it's kind of the midnight oil that happens before our inspections sometimes.
Red flag.
I think have a team working on your behalf that doesn't take no for an answer.
Yeah.
Real easy, because certainly no is their favorite first answer.
Always.
I also think having, again, I'm not trying to plug my own career here, but just having an agent that has a good relation. I mean, not all sales reps, I can't have a good relationship with all of them because some of them just don't want to. But I think having your home inspection company having a good relationship with the sales office, having your realtor have a good relationship with the sales office, what I find is they do tend to advocate for us a little bit harder when we've got a good working relationship with them. And so I think a lot of it is, if you have a nasty sales rep, they're just going to say no for the sake of saying no.
Or
sometimes.
for the sake of them not having to work to ask or to make it
It's kind of
happen.
like that
It's
flex
like, well,
thing. It's like, because you can say no, you're going to.
yeah, I really don't have time to take your calls. We're like, well, you have time to cash your check.
Right.
That's odd. Leading into, so I think that's important to kind of Arizona being a one-party state. Meaning, I have people ask all the time, like, can I record conversations? Do I have to tell people that I'm being recorded? I don't know if you want to say anything on that.
Sure. It's a one consent state.
Yeah.
So you can record a conversation you're a part of in person or on the telephone.
Right.
I think that's awesome.
And it's just important to state, like, if you, okay, let me just say this more directly. If you are on the phone with any of your builder representatives, sales office, anybody like that, repair people, if they're in your home, if you're on the phone, record those conversations. Because the reason I'm bringing this up is I would go on Amazon or wherever and get a digital audio recorder, and I would be pressing record every time I had a conversation, because it's very, very interesting some of the things that are being said when they don't know they're being recorded. It's very interesting. One point, in fact, would be, and I show this in videos probably every single week. Did you get an inspection? No. Why not? Well, the builder told me I didn't need one. Okay. So they just told me that I needed to get, you don't need an inspection, just get the 1 year inspection. You'll get more bang for your buck.
Oofda.
And it's like, okay, now we're at the 1 year. We've reported 140, 130 defects, code violations, safety issues, items not meeting the minimum workmanship standards. And it's like, oh, well, a lot of these items are out of warranty because you only have a 10-day warranty on things that are scratched, dented, or cracked. So, you should have got an inspection. Well, you're the one that told me not to get an inspection. And by the way, I recorded it. Is there anything that recording can be used for protecting them, saying, hey, I didn't get one because?
Absolutely. And if you have a Ring camera, that can be your best friend. I've had a few cases recently in the last year or so where homeowners have said, but I have a Ring camera and it recorded the developer, the builder's reps outside my door before they walked in and got their private conversation admitting to the issues.
Yeah.
Very important. So that's a great, I don't want to say sneaky, but hey, you walk up to a house nowadays, I would assume you're being recorded.
Right.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
Even if it's not the Ring doorbell, there's usually cameras.
Even if you make it in the house.
In the house. And
Oh,
so
yeah,
you should assume
absolutely.
you're being recorded.
absolutely. It's a legal term called detrimental reliance. So if you're told something by someone, the builder's rep, not to do something, and you follow through with that to your detriment, and then they later say, oh, you should have done
Opposite of what I recommended.
You say, well, I have a recording of you telling me not to.
Right.
And now you're saying I've missed my warranty period. It's very helpful to your cause.
I can see
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I love that, and I appreciate that clarity.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's super important. So we just want to reemphasize: always record the conversations. That's so important, and why wouldn't you?
If you can, yes.
Yeah, and by the way, send me those recordings.
It's fun for him.
I may have a bounty out on those.
It's fun for me too.
Yeah,
I mean,
I love it. Yeah, let's
needle-
make them famous. If they want to provide bad advice, then we should share that bad advice with everyone so they can know what not to do.
Is that
Well-
the cowboy in you? What is that, Young Guns or whatever? I'll make you famous.
Oh, I'll make you famous.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll be your Huckleberry.
yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you want to? Sure.
Yeah.
We want to share with everyone the advice that you're sharing, or just stop saying it.
Yeah.
Stop doing it.
Yeah,
Stop
right?
misleading your clients,
Yeah.
your
How about
customers.
you just don't say anything that you wouldn't be happy to have somebody record you saying?
Absolutely.
Another question, rapid fire. Well, not really rapid fire. I think this is a great conversation. What should a homeowner do if, let's say they got their home inspection and the builder representatives are now at the house looking at the defects that were reported. You've asked for the repairs. You put in a warranty request, blah, blah, blah. And the builder representative is in the house. And I'm dealing with this all the time, so it's a little bit of a surprise to you. But what if it's like, what's wrong with your flooring? Oh, the grout is chipping and it's pitted and it's discolored and it's not matching and the nominal lines are not straight, da-da-da-da. And I'm a builder representative. I say, well, tell me something. What are you using to clean your floors? You see where I'm going already. Yeah. So is it a good practice for a homeowner to answer builder questions when they are in their house? Is that helpful for them to get those repairs done? Or is it better to say, well, here's the problem, just fix it? What's your thoughts?
I would redirect the question with, like you just said, a question to them.
Yes.
Why?
Well,
Does it matter?
right.
Or let's focus on the problem.
Or why does it matter? Why does it
Why
matter
does
to
it
you?
matter
Why are
to
you
you?
asking
With
that question?
Yeah.
Because they're tricking you.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
And they could be the nicest builder's rep, the customer care rep who's coming in. I'll do whatever you need. Like, we'll fix this. But, oh, by the way, what do you use to clean this?
What do you use
and
to
you're
clean
like,
your floor?
oh, I use this.
I use Pine Sol.
You
Guess
just
what?
voided your warranty.
You just voided your flooring warranty. Yeah, so they may seem really nice, but, and by the way, they're probably recording you.
Oh,
Could be.
Interesting. And do you think that if it comes down to putting in a warranty claim, they're like, oh my gosh, this is going to take $3,000 or $5,000 or $10,000 to replace this 2-story home with the tiles and the grout. It's crumbling, it's falling apart. How much is this going to cost us to replace and fix all of this? But if we can just get them to say they're using something other than warm water, then we're done.
Right, yeah.
We just
saved
$10
won.
grand.
We won, folks.
did you
Or
see
30 grand.
Did you see the box that the tile came in and the specifications and manufacturer guidelines? Of course you didn't. You didn't put it down.
Right.
But it says not to do certain things.
Exactly.
And so
I've had customers literally tell me that the building supervisor told them to use a specific floor cleaning material. And then when the warranty people came up, they're like, well, so-and-so, your builder rep told me to use this. And you're like, oh, I don't think he would have told you that. I don't believe he told you that. But I'm sorry, you just voided your floor warranty.
That's rough.
It's happening.
I know.
It's happening.
We're not all doom and gloom here, but we've seen enough.
Yeah.
We've seen enough.
Yeah, we
I
see
always
it.
bring that voice of positivity too.
Good.
But there's good ones out there too. I try to plug my favorite sales reps and all the
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
You get a home inspector, a lawyer, and a realtor in a
Yeah.
room. Let joke follow. I mean,
I know there's great experiences out
Yeah,
there. I just
there
haven't
are.
heard one.
oh yeah. Well, we're not in the business.
None of them
Right.
are perfect.
No one's
and that's
coming to us
what I
with
try
good
tell
news.
No,
people.
good news. Hey,
Yeah, yeah.
listen.
I do get people telling me all the time, like I'll post a social media video and they're like, well, I've lived in my house for 2 years and my house looks amazing. And I'm like, I
Let me
want to
come
inspect that.
it.
Let me
I
come.
want to come inspect
Let me
that
see
house.
that
I
house.
don't
I'll
believe
find
you.
something.
Yeah. Because I show up to houses every single day.
Oh, every day.
Yeah. And they're like, are you having any current issues? No. Do you have any cracked flooring tiles? Is there any lights flickering? Is there any breakers tripping? I'm like, oh yeah. Actually, yeah, this bedroom's tripping all the time. Every time I turn the light on, I can't use this light because it trips. I'm like, you just said you're having no problems. How about cracked flooring tiles? No. And then I'll do the review at the end. And I'm like, I found 5 broken flooring tiles. And I'm like, I never noticed that. Like, really?
Oh, you and my wife would get along.
Yeah.
She can point anything out.
Yeah. I love it. Okay, so here's we're going to lead into a little bit more, getting into the ROC and stuff here in just a little bit. But, okay, according to the real estate purchase contracts or the builder's contracts, can somebody, if they're having issues and it's like, hey, I want you to fix this. No, I refuse. Okay, well, you're a jerk and I don't like you, so I'm going to sue you. Is there any, like, escalation, like, can they just go straight to suing, or do they have to file a complaint first, or is there mitigation, or what is your ideas on that? Because a lot of people are like, I'd sue them. And I'm like, well, I don't think you can just sue them. I think you have to
Yeah.
go through your...
There's definitely verbiage in the
Well,
builder contract.
how much time do we have? Unfortunately, we'll exceed that.
The short, long version.
That's a multifaceted question. First, it depends on the purchase sale agreement, of course. So the wording of that kind of dictates what you can and can't do. Usually nowadays they come with a restriction on class action lawsuits. That's one thing. ADR or as we say, alternative dispute resolution, which is a fancy word for basically going to mediation, which is a voluntary exercise where the parties get together and try and hammer out the dispute. If that's unsuccessful, then a resort to arbitration, which is more like a trial or a judicial determination of your
Which you can
rights.
help with.
Yeah, obviously can help with the mediation too.
Yep.
Excuse me.
Yep.
But so then that's generally what I'm seeing in almost every contract.
Yeah.
But Arizona has a right to repair bill.
Yes.
It's a law. It's been a law for several years, which dictates that a homeowner from a developer who's bought a home from a builder or developer must go through certain steps in order to eventually file a lawsuit. It was basically in response to the builders being sued in the early 2000s for all these construction defects. Their lobby was successful in getting the Arizona legislature to pass this bill, which basically is a road, it's a bump in the road for a homeowner's ability to sue.
Right.
And so it's a very specific process. I highly advise to reach out to a lawyer, someone like me, someone else, to help guide you through it. Whether you need one to draft the letter, the notice of claim letter or right to repair letter is up to you, the homeowner. But it's invaluable to have someone who's done it before, like I have, to guide you through, because it is a process. You send a letter, it's got to be specific.
Right.
It has to say certain words. The statute is very specific. And anything out of the ordinary can result in the builder just ignoring you. Mm-hmm. And then if you went to file a lawsuit, having your complaint dismissed by the court because they said you didn't go through the proper steps.
Right.
It's pretty, it's an elongated process. It takes probably 3-4 months total to go through it. It depends, but basically you send a notice of claim or notice of right to repair, outlining your defects specifically, and using a report like yours to do so, bullet point them, put them in the right direction, and then have a cost of repair and say, you can either repair it or pay me money. And they have so many days. You have to make your house available within 10 days of the request to do so. Yeah. They come in and inspect it, and then they have so many days to offer you either a repair or a monetary settlement. Right. And if you don't like that, then the statute allows you to make certain choices. Mm-hmm. And if the settlement breaks down or the attempted settlement, then you can sue.
Right.
But I would recommend you contact my office, talk to me, and then we go through those steps.
And let's just kind of go back just a little bit, because I want to go to my favorite step.
The ROC?
Which is the ROC complaint. Mm-hmm. And so I want to jump into that. So if you're in a new build home, and let's just say if this is applicable to Arizona new builds, the first step is that you should be aware of what standards the builders has. And those are the minimum workmanship standards. Now you can find those on any of your favorite online search engines, right? And you and I, we have our
book.
We have our books. Yours are bigger than mine.
And well used.
Well,
too.
it's
Look
well
at that.
used. This is 2003.
Yeah.
With supplements and annotations.
So mine's a little smaller, but it's getting a lot of use.
Yeah, yours looks pretty well used.
So
too.
I actually try to take, I've tried to make time in my life for the things that I enjoy. And so I've tried to take Wednesday afternoons and Fridays off from home inspections so that I can participate and help in ROC investigations and helping clients with that. Ever since I started that, I have yet to have a Wednesday or a Friday off. I have not had one off yet. So we're very active in helping our customers with the ROC complaint. Now, the first step is to be informed on what the minimum workmanship standards are and where to find those. So if you go on your favorite search engine, just type in AZ as in Arizona, and then minimum workmanship standards. Okay, the most recent version is going to say 2024, and it's got like a blue page. Mine is black and white, but the front page is blue. So first go there and save that. That's where, if there's an issue that you need to dispute, those are going to have what's called the acceptable tolerances, or the AC portion of these standards. So know that. Now, the second important thing to know is how and where to go to file an ROC complaint. So if you just type in on your favorite search, wherever, azroc.gov. Now, if you go there, there's a tab that literally says file complaint, that it's very, very, very easy to locate. Now, once you click that, it's going to give you a little prompt, and it's going to say, okay, we need a couple things to get this started. The first step is going to be, we need your name, we need your email address, and I think that's actually it. I'm pretty sure. Once you click that submit, it sends you an email. Now, you're going to build a profile, and you're going to build like a username and a password so you can log in. Now, once you get to that, it takes you through 9 different steps. It's 9 simple questions. It's going to ask, what is your address? Who is your builder? What is their ROC number or their ROC Register of Contractors number? If you can't find that, it's actually pretty easy to find. You can go to the sales office, or you can look at your purchase contract. Usually it's on the door or it's on their business cards. Pretty easy to find. If you need help with that, you can email us. We can help you get those the ROC number. So you'll need that basic information. It's going to ask you if you want to upload any addendums or any purchase contracts or anything like that. Basically, that's kind of for the people that, like, I hired a landscaper or a pooler, and here's a purchase contract of like what the pool design is. But your purchase contract works fine for that. It proves that you bought the home or whatever. They don't really need that, but it's great to have it. So that would be the first step. Now, another step that I always recommend is that the complaints is correct me if I'm wrong, you're building a case. And if you're just going to say, well, I have a cracked flooring tile, submit claim or complaint. Well, I like to build a case. So straight out, like if someone's going to call me for help, we're going to do it my way. And my way is going to be, okay, well, we had 107 defects. How many of those do you care about? Okay, 60. Okay, cool. Well, let's list 90 because we're building the case. Even if there's only 5 things that bother you, we want to build everything that is going to not meet the standards. Just because we can get further into, there are some personalities in the ROC investigators where they kind of play favorites a little bit, maybe somehow, kind of, and so I think it's a little bit of political, sort of. Some of them get kind of irritated that you're filing a complaint and how so they'll push the boundaries a little bit. Like, well, yeah, the tolerance says this, and you're right, it is not within tolerance, but it's barely out of tolerance. And it's like, yeah, but the standard is this. So does it or does it not? And so that gets very opinionated on some of these investigators, which is why you have to be very knowledgeable of the standards. Anything to add on that so far?
So far, so good. And you're getting to it. I think it's so much of this is dependent on the investigator and the different areas of town that they operate, which we're learning where they are and who they are and what they like. But I think everyone likes an organized complaint, and I think you're going to get into it. But they're probably getting sick of seeing what we're advocating because it's not just like a, tile lippage. People aren't just writing just various words. They're using your reports.
Right, with the
and
verbiage
the
of
advice
what tolerance
that we're,
is.
Yeah, and what we're telling them to do.
Right.
And shepherding in some respects.
Sure.
Here you go. And they're plugging in your wording from your report and putting maybe the top 5 at the top of the...
Sure.
You'll see. It's a plug and play kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you put it in, and then you have 85 more. And the investigators kind of are catching on of, these are the most important.
Yeah.
But everything's important. It's just
Right.
we will eventually be leveraging things against each other is what...
I have a method on it. I've done a lot of ROC investigations, and so I've developed a method to where I kind of put it in the flow of front of the house, side of the house, back of the house, outside, and then inside. Reason being is when the ROC investigator shows up to the house, they are going to have the clipboard with the sheet, and they are literally going to go for your first complaint was this. Like, where is that? Well, that's at the upstairs bathroom. Oh, okay. Well, where's number 2 at? Well, that's at the backyard block wall. Okay, now we're taking our shoes off from the house. Now we're putting our shoes back on to go out to the wall. It's like, what's the next thing? What's in the garage? So I'm trying to keep my shoes on and not on, off. And so I'm putting it in a perfect flow.
Perfect.
Yeah, I really like that.
That's very smart.
Yeah, and sometimes too it falls in order of the book. So I'm like, okay, page this, page that.
Question, Sean.
Yeah.
When you actually do your inspection, are you doing that in mind? Like, I've never seen
No.
you. Do you have a tablet? Or are you punching in?
My inspection process, it makes more sense in the some home inspectors will go straight on the roof. It's like I showed up for the inspection, and before I even knocked on the door, I went on the roof. And it's like, okay, well, that doesn't make sense to me because if you never went inside the house and you never turned on all the exhaust fans, then how did you check to see if air is blowing out of the exhaust fans while you're on the roof?
Okay.
So my inspection process is built completely on what makes the most sense as far as this has got to be on for me to be here so it flows functionality wise. If I go on the roof and find a leak, then I want to go in the attic to check that spot for the leak.
And then you organize your report from the room to room that you're talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, it just flows so perfectly.
That's
and
great.
everything ties, there's a specific reason why we did it this order.
And when we go through the next subjects of investigation by the ROC investigator, they will, like you say, because I've been to several hundreds of these, walk item by item, the first top to the back.
And they won't deviate that.
No.
Because they've got their camera and they want their pictures to be in order.
Yeah.
Of
And you're being recorded then, too.
You sure are.
And so, yeah, now I've had, this is a first in my experience to give a little story, a homeowner, rather large home. We're going on our 3rd inspection this next Monday. This ROC investigator, God bless him, has been there 8 hours, 8 hours and another 8 hours.
Yeah.
This was the one that topped the 110. It had 150 items. So he's doing his job, and we have gone all over the house and the property, and there's been exceptions made, like, let's do this issue while we're here.
Right.
Obviously, because it was such a big matter.
Yeah.
But like you said, usually it's, okay, let's go. Item 1, what's that? Oh, item 2 is, we got to, trudge out to the garage. So it is, that's a great way of doing
The
it.
flow works.
Yeah,
It
flow
makes
is
life
perfect.
and it helps you go so much faster.
And they'll be appreciative of it.
Because you can be there 6 hours, you can be
Oh,
there 2 hours.
Yes. And they'll be so appreciative of that. That's huge.
Yeah, 100%.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's great. I love that. So one question that I get all of the time. So let's use like the garage concrete. It's chipped, it's damaged, or inadequate.
Slope.
Yeah,
something.
it's just lots of issues. And then it's like, okay, well, it's cracked, and they want an epoxy and they want it clean. And then the builder's like, oh, we don't do that. We don't do epoxy. We're like, well, you kind of do if it's a poor and inadequate finish. You kind of do epoxy, and you've seen it too. Like, we've gotten so many customers epoxies.
100%
Awesome.
success rate.
100% success rate. Every time I do a home
Page
inspection,
15, I think it's 15.2 states
yeah,
there's a
or an unsightly finish.
0% tolerance for unsightly finish. Agents, take note.
So if
Perfect.
that
Take note for
concrete,
your buyers.
if it has paint, drip paint, all of that stuff on the
Rust,
concrete,
cracking.
rust stains, cracked, yeah, you're getting an epoxy
Yep.
if you stand your ground. They're
Right.
like, oh no, we don't do that. If I do that for you, I got to do it for everybody. I'm like, well, actually, if you were to protect the concrete, you wouldn't be doing this. This is your problem. So now what happens is the builder said, no, we're not going to do that. Sorry, we don't do it. And then a year later, they see me again and they're like, oh, they said they don't do that. And it's like, well, now a year later, it's kind of hard to fight because now half of the paint drips and all that stuff, they're going to blame you for that.
It's yours.
So my question, when is it reasonable to file an ROC complaint? Can you, first off, I have seen ROC complaints before a home closes. I have actually seen that because they say, well, it's not your house. And it's like, well, okay, well, let's look at the purchase contract. Listen to what I'm saying, people. Let's look at the purchase contract. Is the earnest money refundable? Well, in most cases, it's not.
No, usually it's not.
Okay, so do you have a financial interest in the home? So does that home have to be yours
Interesting.
to file a complaint? Because I've literally had ROC investigators on site prior to a home closing. It's very interesting. It's very rare.
What say you?
Oh, wow. I don't know. That's an issue of first impression in my practice. But I had a question for you.
Okay.
What was my earlier advice? Throw one back at him?
Yeah.
Compliance inspections. Instead of filing a complaint, because I've only dealt with this twice in my career, where a homeowner has filed or requested a compliance inspection from the ROC versus a complaint. Where
Yeah,
it's
there you
an
go. That's
actual-
what I think I'm trying to say.
Yeah, like a litigation issue.
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
litigation in a small form.
Yeah.
But have you come across, is that something you're talking about?
That's more what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
That is
So,
more
and that makes sense.
Yes.
That does make
Yeah,
sense.
thank
And
you for clarifying
I could see how the builder would say, you don't, in a complaint process, you don't even own the you don't
Right,
even own
okay,
the property.
yes, you're correct.
But in compliance, it's
100%.
like, hey, I'm about to own it. There's earnest money down. It's a more liberal construction, as we say, a little more liberal minded.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's not a strict interpretation of the contract and the requirements for a ROC complaint. But that process works too, because the second one I'm talking about, the compliance, because the investigator is going to do the same thing. He's going to look at it and see if it's within workmanship standards or not, and offer kind of more of an advisory opinion. Is that your kind of experience?
Yeah, I mean it's that's what. Well, I mean that kind of goes back.
What would you call it? I don't, because in my case is we hammed it out. The party and the builder is in the process
And
of
that's
building.
more what it is.
And
They're
so
kind of like, hey, like, okay, so here's the deal. Like, I don't know if I can really hand out like a violation of
yeah,
you
it's
know,
not a
and-
corrective work order.
right. But just so you know, if they file a complaint on day one,
Yes,
I'm probably going to enforce this.
so you
do
better-
you want to do this now, or do you want to go through this later?
Yeah.
So that's where it's kind of. And thank you for saving me on that.
No,
that's I completely did say that wrong, but that's why I use you. That's why you're my attorney. So thank you.
Can I just ask for both of you
So-
to elaborate a little bit, because this is actually the first time I'm hearing this. I
Okay.
haven't personally had one where you've been involved, or we're just noticed. I mean, if you're doing your along the way inspections, then things out of compliance are going to be brought to the surface. Is it less of an ordeal? Do you involve an attorney at the compliance level? Is it the same process? Is it the same paperwork? Because I'm not wanting us agents to become...
Well, I think he would get involved in the sense where he can write a letter or, something like that. But it's actually the ROC has actually been pretty proactive. They're actually very involved. They're very like I haven't had them be like, well, we don't really want to get involved. That hasn't happened. They've been like, okay, what is the issue?
And will they send somebody out at these compliance stage requests?
They're required to. Yeah.
They're required to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's statutory. It's presented as an option to the homeowner. It's just another on that website you're talking about, file a complaint or compliance inspection.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so it's a step short of a full litigative
understood.
process, but you still get I'd say it's an advisory opinion by the investigator with the wink wink that if this comes to it, I'm
Right.
going to rule.
Right.
I mean,
Right,
I'm going to
right.
do a corrective work order tomorrow if they file a complaint and I come out. So build or fix this.
Right.
And I've been thinking about that because of the 2 cases I had. It worked out in those cases because the builder was not a big builder. It was a general contractor kind of situation. A little different than what we're talking about, but it is still an option. But you're going back to your question about filing a complaint. I think you have to own the property, one, anytime. I mean, it gets their attention. If they've been, slow on the take, so to speak, or they're not responding to you, a lot of the times that's when I have to advise the client, hey, listen, what's going on? Okay, it's been 2 months. Well, you have some deadlines here, that you need to worry about, your warranty issues, and you have 2 years from the date you occupied this. Where are we at? Oh, 1 year, 8 months. Well, you got to start
Time to
thinking about
act.
doing it.
Yeah.
How long has it been? 6 months since they've talked? What? So, and they've disappeared
stringing
on
you
you.
along.
Yeah, they're stringing
They're
you
trying
along.
to get past the
And by
finish
the
line.
way,
The deadline.
you have this great chalkboard or bulletin board. You don't think they know on their computer when your warranties are out?
Yeah, we just
And
need
your
them to get by
2-year?
another 2
Yeah.
months, and man,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
nothing they can do about it.
And
They're trying to get you to that day.
From your perspective, if you're the builder, a good customer care rep knows exactly what that date is, what the correspondence is, saved into the portal, all that stuff. And I hate to be that, not conspiracy theorist, but it's a realistic,
We've all seen it.
practical
Just like when they
experience.
close out, it's like, oh, you put in a warranty request. Oh,
Oops.
we closed it out.
Yeah,
and they're like,
it's-
oh, we did that. We're like, nah, you didn't. You just
Yeah.
closed it out.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's great information. How are you doing on time?
Oh,
You're good?
I'm good.
Cool. Let's keep trucking. So is it reasonable? So you're doing a compliance inspection. So if they closed on day one and that garage is all jacked up, is it reasonable to file a complaint on day one?
Day one of your ownership,
Yes. ROC's probably going to say, hey, we're probably jumping the gun a little bit,
they might.
They
but
might.
You have the right.
but you have the right. Because
Yeah,
my point on
it's
that
your
would be the
house.
ROC is going to say, hey, have you given them opportunity to make the repair? Well, okay, well, I have it in writing that they're refusing to make the repair. So ding.
Ding.
Now you got
Yeah,
it.
the
That's
clock's
it.
ticking. You
You've
got 'em,
just
yeah.
made your obligation. They were given the opportunity to make the repair. They refused to do it. Now you can file the ROC complaint.
Yep.
But if they're saying, yes, we will do that. Yes, we will do that. Yes, we will. Oh, it's only been a week and they said they would do it. You're probably not going to file an ROC complaint because it's not going to hold any water. There's probably going to be like, have you given them opportunity? Well, how long? Well, I gave them a week. Well, come on, people. Like, you gave them a week and you're filing a complaint. There has to be some reasonability in here
Yeah.
a little bit.
I mean, when you file the complaint, as you know, the first step is the investigator reaches out, you learn who it is, and they schedule an inspection.
Yeah.
And that's usually, a couple weeks out.
Yeah.
And so he would come and say, okay, so what have you done? Oh, we've just been talking. Well, they didn't have an opportunity to come out here. I
Right.
can't really, I verify the condition exists, but, I'm going to give them 2 months to fix this,
Right.
instead of 3 weeks.
No, I think that's completely. I just like to get that out to people because everyone's all like, well, I would file a complaint right off the bat. And it's like, well, it depends on what the item is. Is it going to cause further damage to the home? Have you given them a reasonable opportunity to, and if it's going to cause a fire to the house, then maybe a week is
Yeah,
like, hey, it's been a week, like you need to do this. But if it's, a tile lippage,
Yeah.
then it's probably not an emergency.
Life safety issues,
Sure.
precedents.
100%.
And you piqued my ears on that when you started to speak. I was like, well, exception being life safety.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
there's an electrical panel issue or you flickering lights or
Yeah.
things that you may not know but have a sixth sense about, just do it.
Yeah.
So would you consider the clock had started, because like, for example, I just had one where he was buying a model home, but we had I think it was as little over a 60-day escrow. So we did our inspection around the 30-day point, and then they had quite a bit of time to repair things. So in a situation where you've been bringing it to their attention for 30 days after your home inspection and you're getting pushed, well, we might fix that, we might, and you just over the course of the 30, would that be more reasonable then, or would you consider that they weren't required to fix it until it was closed?
Well, I think their
'Cause I
argument
brought
is
it
going
to
to be
their
that they
attention
thought
30
they
days ago.
did. That's the first thing you're going to say is, oh, I'm sorry, we thought we did that. Then they're probably going to buy themselves more time, because then that's going to negate the first 30 days anyway. They're going to be like, well, you might have been waiting for 30 days, but we thought we did it. So technically, you haven't been waiting because we thought it was done. That's just their ninja verbiage that they're going to use.
Ninja.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I got to remember that.
Yeah, and they got it figured out. You know, they know
Yeah.
the game. So how about getting into some tips? Okay, now you called us. We helped you file an ROC investigation or a claim or a complaint, and then so let's just go down kind of step by step so people understand what's about to happen. First off, the ROC investigator is going to assign, or the ROC is going to assign the file to an investigator. Then that investigator is going to send an email out to the builder representative and the homeowner. Is going to say, okay, notification, there's been a complaint filed. Here's the file number. Here are the list of items that are on the complaint. Then what's going to happen is the ROC investigator is going to give the builder 15 days to visit the property, to observe the defects or issues, so they've been officially notified and have an opportunity to look at it. If you do not let them in the home, if you are argumentative, or if you're playing circus clown music on the speakers while they're there and you're being difficult, then that is probably not going to look good to the investigation when the investigator shows up at the house 15 days later or whatever the date is going to be. So the cooperation is important. However, let's go back to the very beginning. They're there to, let's just say this very clear. I'm looking straight at you and I'm saying this very clearly. They are there to gain evidence against you, to build their case. Any conversations you're having, they're recording them. Anything that they're taking pictures of, they're documenting why they thought they didn't need to fix it or why they think it's within tolerance. They're building their case. I think that's very straightforward. They are not your friend. They're going to come in there and say, hey, we see this. Oh, you know what? You were right. You filed the complaint. How about we just have somebody here on Tuesday? We'll just get this taken care of. The time for repairs is done. Your obligation was not to let them in the house to start making repairs. Your obligation was to let them in the house to observe the defects so that they can be prepared when the ROC investigation happens the 15th day or 16th day or whatever it be. Please correct me if I'm wrong in there.
My experience, well, obviously do not restrict their access to the home as long as it's a reasonable. I mean, if they're asking you on 7 hours notice, hey, we need to come in tomorrow.
Right.
Don't just grant. I mean, I don't want to say, don't grant.
There's
I
not,
mean,
there's
always,
not 100% you have
you
to
have
let them,
to,
but there's reasonability.
Yeah, there's reasonability, but you do have to
make an honest effort
to be grant reasonable access.
Yeah, don't just be difficult
Absolutely.
to be difficult.
And I know you're frustrated, and this is the person you've been texting or emailing for months or
They've
whatever.
been in your house. They've been rude.
And then, of course,
They've
they
said-
want to schedule it an inconvenience time.
Yeah.
Friday at 1 p.m. or 3 p.m. You got to get the kids. What are
Yeah.
you talking about? And another thing that I'm focusing on is a lot of my clients are working from home. It's just the reality of the world today.
Don't tell them that.
I know. Don't tell them that if you can help it.
Yeah.
Because they take advantage of these homeowners.
100%.
They 100% do.
Yeah.
And it's really maddening because it just engenders bad feelings on both sides of the aisle. And my homeowners, oh my God, I've spent 100 hours and I've had to get off my Zoom meetings with my controller or whatever it
I'm
is
here
you do.
working. I'm not just
here
home
working.
waiting for
I'm
you.
not waiting for you.
Right.
I mean,
I'm
what if I worked
working.
in downtown Phoenix and I have to drive 30 minutes home?
Yeah, but on top of that, another great topic or point, maybe don't tell them your only day off is this.
Right.
Because then they're going to be like, oh, well, let's schedule every day but your day off. Because then what do? They're going to be like, well, he's going to be there on Thursday. Okay, he made the repair. Okay, now he's going to be there next Tuesday. And it's like they're going to schedule it, in my opinion, they're going to schedule on any day but your day off. Why? Because they're trying to wear you down. They're trying to wear you out. They're trying to frustrate you. They're trying to get you to say, you know what? I am just
give up.
tired of this. I give up. Don't tell them your only days off. That is probably not a good thing to do.
Yeah. Have a poker face.
Yep.
Tell them, get back to them with your availability, and you're
Yeah.
happy to help. I mean, I've ghostwritten so many emails for clients.
Yeah.
Happy to help. Want to provide reasonable access. I'll find out from my family when I'm available and when my work, will allow me.
Mm-hmm.
And give them a day. Figure it out, and then just let them in.
Yeah.
And when the investigator is there, a little story recently. I've had the contractor literally in front of the investigator trying to fix the problem, like a dishwasher issue and a compactor issue right in front of him. Like, well, I'll just take care of it here. And he's like, well, stop. Oh, I've got to verify this. Well, I'm confirming it's an issue. Okay, homeowner, are you okay with him fixing it? I'm like, of course, just go ahead and do it. But that's the first for me.
Don't help yourself.
I mean, yeah, don't try it yourself. And when my homeowner said, well, I've actually went in there. No, don't say you did anything,
No.
except maybe change a light bulb.
You know nothing.
Yeah, you know that you're a member of the know nothing party.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then how about, okay, so we made it to the builder warranty rep most likely is going to show up at the house, but they're probably going to bring some friends.
Oh, yeah.
Because you've got AC issues, and you've got broken trusses, you've got tile flooring, you got broken tubs, you've got paint issues, we got cracked cabinets. So you're going to have all of these trades in your house. What do you think about letting all of these trades in at the same time?
And this is during the investigation by the investigator?
Oh, right now we're just at the warranty. Like, they're just there to look at defects.
Okay. Well, again, it's reasonableness, and you're one set of eyes and one person. You can't be everywhere at once, whereas if they have 10 trades, they can be. And you can, in my opinion, it's not restricting access, it's providing access in a reasonable manner.
Right.
And you're allowing the builder's rep and one trade.
Yep.
I mean, I think that's reasonable.
That's very reasonable.
Because the builder's rep is going to take that trade to the spot and they're going to look at it.
Yeah.
Now, I would hope you'd have someone like you, Sean, there as a homeowner.
Definitely
so that
ideal.
you have someone on your side who's seen the issue and can have a rapport with the trade. Because we are eventually, I mean, the purpose is to get your home fixed.
And to understand what they're saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're
I
just,
can explain to them, what are you seeing wrong? Okay, I'm seeing that your splits or your unit is not performing correctly or your whatever this and that. I'm like, okay, well, this looks fine. I'm like, well, we're not here to talk about that. We're not here to talk about what you think is fine. I'm telling you what I see, and we're giving you the opportunity to look at it. So when the ROC investigator is, we'll talk about that then.
And we're talking about workmanship standards, which you're an expert in.
Yeah.
And they think they're experts in.
Right.
They're supposed to.
Because we've been doing it like this for 20 years.
Yeah, and you're going to get that all the time,
We
too.
do every house like this.
And you guys are speaking Greek, in all honesty, to the homeowner.
Yeah.
Homeowner's like, I just bought a house. I don't know anything about it except I see cracks.
want it right.
I just want it right. The water's coming through the window. The appliances aren't working.
Yeah.
I don't know why. You guys know why. And that's why you hire you, and that's why you have to have you with the builder.
Yeah.
Like I was talking before we got on, I'm not an expert in construction. Have I been around it a lot? Yes. Do I know enough to be dangerous? Of course. And I can advocate with the best of them, and I can play the buffer between that warranty agent and you if you're not there, so that you don't say anything that voids a warranty or puts you in hot water. So,
well, a lot of times if it's something you're seeing every week, it's like, oh, lippage on tiles. Okay, you probably can speak on that because you've seen it so many times.
Yeah.
But when we're talking about a line set that's the wrong size based off of a certain size unit with a certain amount of rise and a certain amount of run, even there's a lot of trades that, like, the AC guys are like, oh, no, it's right. And it's like, well, I'm reading the manual, and it's kind of saying it's not right. So...
Well, and using an 8-foot level versus a 6-foot, and what is really out of code here?
Yeah. Is it really that bad?
There's tricks. Yep.
So, and also to a good point is, if you're trying to record conversations and things going on, it might be kind of hard to record an AC guy that's outside while you're looking at the tub guy that's in the bathroom, while you're looking at the cabinet guy that's in the kitchen. It might be kind of hard to manage that circus if you're just letting all of the animals in at the same time. Not that I'm calling them animals, but not that I'm not.
Absolutely right. And getting to that 3-day different inspection, I've never been to a house where there's so many trades outside. Yeah. And we had to be like a traffic cop.
Yeah.
Nope, you guys can stay out here. It's 102. I'm sorry. One at a time.
Yeah.
And then
we respect these people's home because another thing that happens too is that this guy's got that guy's back. And they're like, oh, come on, you're being ridiculous. And I'm like, no, you're escalating. You're getting fumed. You're offended because you don't want someone to tell you that your work is done incorrectly. And you don't want your home inspector standing there telling you why you're wrong because he's just a little home inspector. He doesn't know what he's talking about. And people get offended and heated. And having all those people in the same room, they're recording the conversation. So when you say, hey, you leave my wife alone or you get out of my house, that's what they wanted. They wanted you to get difficult so they could record it so they can use it against you at the ROC investigation. It's happening.
It's herd mentality. You get 20 of them and one of you, there's going to be defensive nature.
Pack.
If it's
They're just gonna
1 on
defend the
3 or 2 on 3 or 3 on 3, it's even up.
Yeah.
It's fair.
Yeah, if we can discredit them, then we have a better chance of helping them. Hey, you thought you were right. Your home inspector doesn't know what he's talking about. And if we've got 3 people saying this, then it kind of makes them wonder, oh, was my home inspector wrong on that?
Yeah.
Yeah, am I picking a fight I'm not going to win?
Yeah.
No, I totally get it. So I'm not restricting any access. Do not restrict access for any of the trades into your home, but you can manage the flow of how many people are coming in your house at a time. So we'll get past that. And then, okay, now let's get to the ROC investigation. The ROC investigator is showing up at the property. I've never seen one late, but they will show up at the minute every time. Now, in that packet that they're going to send you, it's going to state in there that the homeowner is required to be present at meetings. But it says in there also that the builder and builder representatives are recommended to be to arrive and be part of the meetings. So it would be very interesting to see the ROC investigator having a private meeting at the mailboxes that you are not part of. That would be very interesting to get pictures of. I would throw that out there. That's usually why they show up. I've literally seen them outside the gate, and we were at the upstairs of the house watching the ROC investigator with the builders out there, taking pictures of them, and then them all showing up like, oh, that's weird. We just happened to get here. No, you all had a meeting out there. We saw it. So just remember, you are actually, per the paperwork, technically required to be at all meetings. The builders and trades are recommended to be there. So I want to throw that out there. Am I wrong on anything there?
No.
Okay. Having the tools to demonstrate. So what's going to happen is they'll say, item number 1 on the checklist, you have a crooked wall. Okay. So the ROC investigator is going to pull out his ruler and all of his squares and all of his. Nope. The ROC investigator is going to bring a pen and a clipboard. They might have a little card in their hand that shows different widths of lines so that they can check gaps. That's about it. So if there's a crooked wall and you have to demonstrate that with your tools, it is your job to bring the tool and demonstrate it and provide the code and to cite the code on why it is wrong. So a lot of people think that the ROC investigator is going to show up because they're Mr. Knowledgeable, and matter of fact, they're going to play completely stupid. Even though they see this stuff every single day, they're going to be like, tile lippage, what's that? I've never heard of tile lippage. How do you check tile lippage? What kind of tool is that you're using? I have no clue. And they're just going to, I'm telling you, they're going to act like they've never seen this before, even though they're seeing it multiple times a day. It's your job to demonstrate, show it, and provide the codes. Anything to add there?
No. My favorite, obviously, to your point, they don't bring a ladder either.
No ladders.
So they're
No
not going to be able to
no binoculars.
look on a roof. And
Yeah.
so
if your home inspector is there, he can set up the ladder and he can go up on the roof, or you can go on the roof if you're willing and safe and knowledgeable and comfortable doing that. But I would recommend you have your home inspector there to do it for you.
So the ROC investigators
Will not.
Nope.
They won't even go in the
I'm
attic.
so-
Most of them won't go in the attic.
I'm
Some
so
of them will.
baffled. So then how do we determine if it's right or wrong?
Drone.
In
Or
an attic or in a...
Some of them will go in the attic. Some of them.
Or
some.
Very interesting.
yeah, or your report, if it has documented
Okay,
photos.
okay, fair.
And you can say, I swear these are photos taken of this residence a
But that
month
report
ago.
date has to be
Yes.
after the repairs are done.
Yeah.
If you took
Yeah.
those pictures and then they were like, oh, we made those repairs, and we're like, well, here's my pictures from October. Yeah, but we were here in November. So now you have to have a December report.
So it just
Okay.
you have to avow that those are true and accurate photos of the condition that hasn't been modified or worked on or anything.
Yep.
And then he'll take it under consideration. It's already in the
So
complaint
very
package.
interesting.
Yeah.
So the guy is literally there representing the ROC, and he's not doing any real hands-on
his job.
investigating. That's not
No.
his job.
It's the
But
homeowner's
they're the ones that rule whether or not there's a violation.
My understanding of their job, and I kind of agree with it, because then they can be swayed and they're not current on a lot of the changes and stuff, because we're talking about common industry standards or the industry norm. But so I kind of like it that it's weighted,
Okay.
because it helps the industry professionals partake and say, hey, this is wrong because of this. And this is a great segue into the next thing that I was actually literally going to say is home inspector is reading the standard, and the standard says that it has to be this. the crooked wall cannot be deviated more than 1/4 of an inch and 10 feet. Okay, cool. I'm using a 2-foot level. It's a 1/2 inch off. And then the builder's going to say, yeah, but when we put the level against the wall, you got to split the difference. And I'm like, okay, well, show me in the standard where it says, no more than 1/4 of an inch and 10 feet, but splitting the difference. It doesn't say that. And that's what's going to happen. They're going to try to ad-lib things that do not exist, like tripping hazards on the outdoor concrete. The concrete says that a concrete with a budding concrete is considered a tripping hazard or shall not be a tripping hazard. But the builder's going to say, yeah, but as long as it's less than 1/2 of an inch, it's not a tripping hazard. No, the standard doesn't say that. It says shall not be a tripping hazard, meaning if I have a walker and the wheels catch on the lip, that's a tripping hazard.
So there is no
no 1/2 inch.
Okay.
Yeah,
But they'll say a 1/2 inch. They'll be like, oh, and they're so
Interesting.
confident. It sounds right.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, they're like, no, it's a 1/2 inch. Like, we do this all the time. We know it's a 1/2 inch. Like that.
So it's basically a 0 tolerance, just like the floor.
Well, I wouldn't say 0 tolerance, but if it's reasonability,
Yeah.
I would go off for that because I'm not going to say 0 tolerance because that's not reasonable to me.
And again, it depends on the investigator
100%.
because it depends on what area, and then the investigator has a relationship with that builder and the builder's rep. If they know them and they've heard this song and dance, and like you said, they'll act like they didn't because they don't want the homeowner to feel there's something amiss.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's amazing what happens at these investigations.
Yep.
And the best way to arm yourself as a homeowner is to have someone like you, Sean, there to argue and know that the builder, with certainty, the builder is putting you on. Like just to say, there is no standard like that. That's not the standard. Here it is, and have your book.
Right here.
And have your book. That's why it's fading, because you're using it all the time. And yeah, it's invaluable to have someone like you there to guide them and help them because homeowners are just at such a disadvantage.
Really, truly.
Yeah. So the investigator comes in, he looks at it, he goes through the house, and he has you there. The builder's going to be, saying what they're saying to get out of the problem. They're looking at this as their day in court because they want to avoid what's going to happen next.
I have a really interesting one for you.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about conflict of interest.
We could sit here for 3 or 4
Oh, yeah.
hours.
Yeah,
We've
I'll
talked
go
about this
fast on it.
before. Stories
Literally,
are war
a
stories.
development right down the road. I'm not going to say the name of the builder or the community. We filed the ROC investigation. The ROC investigator shows up.
This is a true story too,
This
because
is-
I know a foreman who left that company, and him and I have talked about the situation. He said 100%.
This is
that was
1,000.
true.
Oh, I know it's 1,000% true.
Yeah.
So I go on this investigator's Facebook page, and he's showing a picture of his new mug. Oh, I got hired at this builder today. I'm so excited. Guess what community he's working in? The community I'm talking about that we filed a complaint. He then gets a new job at the ROC, and he's the one assigned to the house in the community that he worked at when that house was being built. And that's the same guy. We happen to have some pictures of him hanging out at the mailbox with all of his buddies.
Unreal.
And guess what happened on that investigation? That didn't go very good for the homeowner. We won a lot of things, but there are some things that was like we had recorded phone calls from the air conditioning manufacturer stating that the items that we were calling out were wrong, and they still denied the claim on that, even though the air conditioning manufacturer on the phone stated that what I reported was incorrect and needed to be fixed, and because it was a massive repair, they're like, oh no, this is right. We're not going to have them fix that. I'm like, yeah, interesting.
Yeah, it's a building community.
Anyway.
Yeah,
That's an amazing
I'm not
story.
gonna get into that too much, but yeah, it's an interesting
Unreal.
one. Having the tools, you're supposed to have that. The standards, you want to make sure you're prepared with those. Be prepared for the builder or builder reps to provide false information during the ROC investigation. It's almost like court. It's almost like, Your Honor, it's this. And you're like, no, Your Honor, it's that. And you're like, then he's going to go with who had the evidence to prove their case and not just spouting misinformation.
Well, and that gets to the point of the gaslighting by the builder, and you don't know any better as a homeowner. You're in there, and if you're not there, and I am, that's where I buffer it up. I kind of ease the tensions, at least I hope.
Yeah.
Because I can get hot-headed too, especially if a disservice.
You can get direct?
I can be direct. That's a good way of putting
Yeah.
it. But when I see an inequity or something happening where my homeowner, an injustice, a homeowner's being pushed around,
Yep.
the builder's trying to sway the investigator by just lying and saying things similar to, well, I've seen your daughter or your maid cleaning the floor with that materials when we were in here doing the repairs. What are you talking? I mean, you're trying to get to an investigator who's
Do you
like,
have a
I
picture
just
of
want to.
that?
Yeah. Do you have a picture or video recording? I mean, you're just saying it.
You're just saying
You don't
things.
know. We don't know. And my
Right.
homeowner's like, what are you talking about?
Yep.
Like this, you're just
This
fabricating.
didn't happen.
And the investigator, hey, everyone just quiet down.
Yeah.
I mean, a good investigator just says, listen, I'm just going to hear
Yeah, I've
to,
seen
to
some good
see
guys
it.
take control.
Yeah,
of the
take
scene.
control. Absolutely. And those
Yeah.
are invaluable.
Hey, you shut up and you
Yeah,
shut up.
you
The
shut
next
up.
person runs their mouth.
Yeah.
This thing's done.
Homeowner, let's go down the list.
Yeah.
I'm going to look at it. I've got, do you have
That's
something I can
sweet.
measure this corner with? Yeah, here you go. Yeah.
I've also
Invaluable.
seen the ROC investigators who are recording the conversations and everything that are going on, and then I'm recording, and I've literally had them tell me, "Are you recording right now?" Oh yeah, I am. Well, I
Sure.
don't allow you to record me, and I'm like, nah, that wasn't a question. Like, I'm not asking you to be able to enforce my rights. I'm going to
Yeah.
record this because I'm protecting myself and I'm protecting my customer. So let's proceed. And if you have a problem, I'll call your supervisor and we'll get him to straighten you out because there's nothing that says I cannot
Can't
record
record.
this information right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah. How about confirming that you can only have one ROC investigation open at one time?
That's funny. The case I was talking about earlier, that client had 7 or 8 open ROC matters. And so I don't know of a specific rule saying you can't have,
Yeah.
and I have had clients have
And then
multiple.
to clarify, I know I jumped out. So I mean, like, if we're going to file a complaint that has 80 items on it, and then that case is opened with 80 items, and then it'd be like, oh, let's open a separate one with 2 items. They can add those 2 to the 80, but once the directive is issued, then they're not going to allow them to open another case until those 80 are clarified. I think.
That's generally my understanding.
Yes.
And yes, you can augment, supplement, or open up a new.
There's a
it
point where they're gonna say,
depends
okay,
on
we're not
the-
adding anymore.
And it depends on the investigator. It really does.
Yeah,
Because if let's just add those 2 in. I haven't issued a corrective work order yet. But if they've already investigated and inspected, there might be some blowback.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could have a couple open. I wouldn't go hog wild.
Right.
But yeah, and as you discover more and more issues, I'm not saying not to file a new complaint. Go for it.
Yeah.
I would reach out to your investigator and say, hey, I found these 5 more items. What do you want me to do? That's what I tell my clients.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, and this gets into kind of a plug, I offer that service to clients where you don't have me full bore represent you, put me down, get the notice of appearance and represent, because that might raise the tensions a little bit.
Yeah.
I'll ghostwrite, I'll advise, I'll look over your documentation. You're still paying me. I'm doing it, but I'm just not right. The tensions aren't rising with the builder.
Yeah.
Because obviously if a lawyer gets involved, they might send it over to legal, then you get their lawyer involved, which I welcome that, but I read the situation. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So for the sake of time, we'll kind of cover
Yeah,
some of these
sure.
a little bit quickly. So what happens if the inspector visits the home with the builder and then issues the written directives? Okay, now what's going to happen is the builder is typically going to say, oh, you have 30 days to make these, or 60 or whatever. And then sometimes they're going to file extensions if they're not able to get, tile the match, and they might extend and
Sure.
or whatever. So, okay, now the builder's made the repairs. They've gotten all of the extensions that they've wanted. They've gotten access to the property. Now the builder's done. So all repairs are supposedly completed and finished. Now, what will typically happen is the customer will call me back to go back to the house, do another inspection of those items, and then we will issue a current report dated after. Now we have a new report to document what the house looks like after the builder was done with repairs. Perfect. And then we'll have the ROC investigators typically going to say, hey, are you satisfied, or do you whatever? So then we'll say, no, we're not satisfied. We need another on-site investigation. Yep. And then it's court again. It's not like, hey, we've already called this wrong, so violation issued or citation. It's not like that. Now you have to re-argue it because now it's been touched, it's been removed. Now you have to remeasure. Now you have to re-document. Everything starts over again, sort of. Not the whole filing process, but just the investigation improving process.
It's been fixed, yeah.
Yeah.
Or not.
Or not. And then once Now, okay, so this is going to get deeper into your territory because I kind of get dropped off from here because once I prove that the builder has not done the work correctly, it kind of goes away and they end up like, for the most part, once they say, hey, there was like, you had 60 items, but 30 are still wrong. Typically what happens is there's like a civil process that starts. They're going to start filing some legal paperwork. What is that?
I'll take it. Well, you're not out of it yet because I'm going to call you to appear at the hearing.
Yeah.
No, so the investigation takes place. The builder has given 15, 20, 30 days, whatever, to fix the problems. A lot of times they come out, they fix some of them, they don't fix all of them. They give you the song and dance.
Yeah.
You then, with your help, request a compliance inspection from the investigator.
Yep.
He comes out and he's checking a box. It's corrected or it's not corrected. And he knows what the initial issue was. He listens to the builder say, we've fixed this flooring. We ordered tiles, we regrouted, it's level. And he tests it just like he did the first time, the investigator. And then he checks the box. You don't know it then. He'll be tight-lipped.
They'll never tell you that day.
Yeah, they're tight-lipped. They just take videos. And in about a week, 10, whatever, how many days it is, because these guys they're pretty busy, and they are on their own time, you'll get a compliance inspection notes, and it will run through all the items, and they'll say
Accepted,
corrected,
rejected.
or, confirmed, corrected, not corrected.
Yeah.
Then they'll tell you the code violation, and then they submit it to legal.
Yep.
And that goes to the Office of Administrative Hearing. Well, the ROC submits it to the Office of Administrative Hearings, and a citation is then issued against the builder for the items that have not been corrected
Right.
and are out of compliance.
Right.
And that's when they have 10 days to answer in writing, and that's usually when the builder's lawyer, uses their form to deny and make up. Well, I'm not going to say lawyers make up anything, but if there's an opportunity to advance the argument that you restricted their access, they will use it then. And because they're trying to get the OAH judge, it's an administrative law judge, to dismiss your complaint, your citation, which has been filed by the ROC, a governmental agency. You haven't done anything. They've done it.
Right.
Because the police officer has determined there's been an accident and they're at fault for part of it.
Sure.
Now a judge needs to attribute fault and damages and all that. I get ahead of myself. Anyway, so they have a chance to answer. That's usually when I get involved a lot because people are said, what do? I don't know anything about
This
a
isn't
hearing.
fair.
Yeah, a hearing's going to be happen. I don't want to represent myself at a hearing in front of a judge. So I get involved. The other attorneys for the big developer, the general contractor, whoever it is now filed an answer. And the client says, what do we do? That's when the process is legal and you have disclosure requirements, documentation you got to provide to the other side, which is your report, everything, your notes, anything. And then you have a hearing.
Yeah. The reason I was saying I typically fall off of that because by the time they're still found to have 30 items not within compliance, typically they're going to end up being pushed to sign a non-disclosure, and they're typically going to offer them a check.
Oh, okay.
And so a lot of the times these homeowners are getting checks.
And I'm not involved.
Yeah, and
because they're getting satisfied.
Yeah, so they're getting satisfied.
Okay.
So typically I'm not hey, Sean, I need more help. It's like,
perfect.
It's usually like, hey, I'm calling to check up on you. How did it go? What's the next? They're like, yeah, we did get this. Here's a copy of everything that you won for us.
Perfect.
By the way, I can't really tell you anything else. And I'm like, you signed a non-disclosure agreement. And they're like, yes. And I'm like, well, congratulations. I hope you did well.
That's good.
Yeah, And I always tell them, I like to guess because it seems to be a magic number. I like to say, what do they offer you, 30 grand? They're like, how'd you know that? And I'm like, well, because that's like the magic number. And I'm like, so what'd you hold off for, about 150? And they're like, that's pretty cool that you did that. And I'm like, okay, so my point is, be careful accepting that first amount because typically it's just an offer up front that is just a first offer to see if you're just willing to take it and go.
Yeah. And 30,000 is a magic number because that's the recovery fund maximum you can recover.
Love it. Yep. So I think we've covered that pretty well.
Pretty good.
I think it's great information that we're going to get to a lot of people that needed to know this information.
Absolutely.
When is it too late to file an ROC complaint?
Well, for new builds, what is it? 2 years after occupancy.
Yeah, or occupancy or the date of close, whichever come first.
Yeah. And when I deal with like rebuilds or remodels, it's 2 years from the work.
The completion.
They say contract date, but the work is usually well after that.
Yeah.
So it's the last time they really touch the house.
What's the reasonability? So you'll have to answer this because remember, I get dropped off after those
Yes.
people are getting checks or signing non-disclosures. What is the typical span from filing? Because a lot of people are like, oh, we're going to file this and the state's going to come in, have my back, and it's going to be a couple weeks and we're going to be done. My experience, you're probably going to say higher or longer. My experience is about 6 months from start to finish.
For the ROC process?
Yeah.
6 months is pretty fair.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I've been involved. Well, from opening a complaint through the process to maybe a citation and a hearing, probably 6 months. To recovery fund, I've had, I'll just do fast forward the explanation. If you do get, after a hearing, an order from a judge saying that they have violated the law and they have not repaired your house and there's workmanship standards that have been violated, they submit that to the ROC for rubber stamping, basically. The ROC then submits an order saying, licensee, you've performed inadequate work on a home, sold a home outside of standards, your license will be suspended or revoked if you do not fix that issue or the issues by this certain date.
Right.
So
typically
they get
like a 5-day hold on work or something like that.
And so the homeowner is astounded because they've gone through all this process. What do you mean they get another chance to fix the house?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, they do. That usually comes and goes. When that comes and goes, you can make an application for the recovery fund. This is pretty much where you don't need a lawyer. I hate to say you have to have one.
Would be
smart to do because you have to have made an application to the bond that they have and have a denial or acceptance of the bond by the bonding company. It gets really convoluted before you can make an application for the recovery fund because the first question they said is, what's the determination of the bond? And if you say, what bond? They'll say your recovery fund is denied. So you do have to read the ROC website.
Yeah.
You got to really dot your I's and cross your T's and know what you're doing when you make that recovery fund. I usually make a claim on the bond while the ROC process is going because, insurance companies take forever. So you get that denial or, we'll pay the $15,000. Oh, well, that's great. That helps me a little bit.
Yeah.
And then you go to the ROC fund and then that actually works against you there. But don't worry about that. It takes a long time to get to that point. And hopefully you get some good advice.
Perspective for a lot of people don't realize. So when people call us and they're like, hey, we want to get a quote for a home inspection. And we send that quote to them. And it's, what is it? Like average, like $600. Let's just say it's $600. And we're like, oh my gosh, $600. Like I've lived here for a year. I haven't noticed anything. $600 for them to come in and tell me that there's a chip in the paint. Sorry, guys. Typically, I'll find probably 3 times your home inspection cost in just your attic.
Yeah.
And we're talking like sometimes just today I found so many issues in the electrical panel from a builder that did not let us inspect the electrical panel on a pre-purchase. We had to go back. It cost them $200 something for us to go back, and the cost of the inspection and the reinspect I think was enough to pay for the panel repairs that we found when the builder first didn't let us touch it.
Sure.
So, and it's the same thing, reciprocation for you. It's like, well, hiring an attorney. Okay, but the return on that, because even by the time you're looking into getting into the recovery fund, it's going to pay off. It's going to pay for itself. Plus, you're getting your house corrected.
Right.
And you're holding the builder accountable so they can stop walking all over everybody.
And that's the ultimate goal, is to get your house fixed, hopefully not spend much on me, not spend much on you.
Right.
And the repairs, if you put a cost estimate from a general contractor licensed to do the work, you see the cost benefit there.
Yeah.
So, and I always tell homeowners, go through the ROC process, get as many fixes done as you can.
Right.
Because you're
As
getting
they can.
value for
Yeah.
that. I mean, I know you're supposed to have a house that's built perfect. We know that. But that doesn't happen. So get
And it's
what
not
you
reasonable.
can. It's not reasonable.
No.
It's
I will
human.
always
It's
say
human.
It's not reasonable. You're not going to get a perfect house.
Not going to get a perfect house.
But there's a minimum.
There's a minimum workmanship standards and an expectation, and per contract, a reasonable expectation of value.
In about 8,000 inspections that I've done, I say this all the time, out of the over 1,000 inspections that I have done, I have yet to find a house that meets the minimum workmanship standards. I haven't found one yet.
Yeah.
And you do the big national builders, you do custom home builders, you do luxury builders.
Yeah.
It's at every level. So if you think you're building a $3 million home and you've got an amazing
I think custom's
contractor,
worse, in my opinion.
Honestly, yeah, you see some really bad stuff.
Custom
like,
builders are
yeah,
like, I'm
home
just going to get a
inspection.
custom builder. And I'm like, good luck, in my opinion.
Do your diligence on that, for sure.
How can everyone contact your team?
You can call us, or you can go to our website, rsnlawaz.com.
Cool.
I have a profile page. Rob Rutila has my background, bullet points, what I can do for you. I also have a nice little placard.
Perfect. Love it. And we're posting that up. So actually,
Let the
they're going to
cameras see
send
it.
us the link for that so that during this whole section right here, we're just going to post it on the screen so that it'll have basically your business card
Sure.
right on here while we're doing that.
It's got a QR code and everything.
Do you want to give them a phone number to call or not? It's
Yeah.
up to you.
480-712-0035.
Cool. Right on.
480-712-0035.
Definitely trust you guys. We have used you for a long time. You've had my back in so many different ways, and I really appreciate that.
Oh.
A couple more things coming at you. We're going to close this out.
Let me interrupt, Sean. And also, our website is a resource too.
Okay.
Because we have several articles.
Yeah.
And I've written on a lot of what we're talking about today.
Oh, that's right. You have the flow chart.
Well, we're going to put up a flow chart
Yep.
for the ROC process that we've talked about today.
The steps, how it goes.
Yep.
Yeah.
The steps on how it goes, what you can expect, and that's a link to the ROC website. But I'll discuss it. I'm writing an article as we speak.
Yeah.
And we have the firm's been open for 5 years. I've been practicing for almost 27, and we have a multitude of articles for new builds, general construction, bonds, liens, mechanics liens, and that's another story that these builders or contractors do. But anyway, a lot of things, a lot of resources.
What's worse, a handshake deal or a builder's promise?
I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to answer that question.
Okay, what's easier to settle, a divorce, a real estate dispute, or a family dispute? It's just a joke.
Well, I don't practice in
I know.
2 of the 3 of those.
If you were
They're all messy.
They're all messy.
another question from a follower, if you were labeled a superhero, what would your superpower be as far as like your legal side? Like, what makes you guys such a strong?
I've always said a good lawyer has to know both sides of the argument.
Yeah.
And I've been fortunate in my practice over the my whole career. I have been a defense attorney. I've represented not these big builders, but general contractors.
Yeah.
I've represented huge subcontractors. And so I've seen the arguments that have been made. I've also represented homeowners for a long time. And so I can see both sides of the arguments.
Right.
I know the law.
It's important.
It's a valuable perspective.
But that's the whole point. So the superpower is, I guess, seeing both sides of the argument,
Yeah.
being able to counter. It's a chess match.
Yeah. When I was in the Marine Corps, I was a drill instructor, and I had one of my gunnery sergeants come to me because I had a recruit that was allegating that I put my hands on him, and the recruit had this like long story of everything that happened. Like first this happened, and then the drill instructor grabbed me, and then he shoved me here, and then I went over this wall, and all these things just happened. Yeah. Well, and so I was like, Gunny, like half of that stuff doesn't even sound realistic. But he was like, yeah, but the other half, he's like, you know what's really interesting about that? He's like, there's a little bit of truth to every allegation. And I was like, well,
There's videos now. How can you
There's
deny
video.
this entirely?
yeah. So anyway, yeah, just like you were saying, like, you know, you got to understand both sides because in most cases, there's a little bit of truth to maybe every allegation. So understanding the perspective of both sides is so important.
Well, and I wanted to compliment you
Sure.
because you talk about fairness all the time because you want to be fair.
Yeah, I do.
And so when we're at these investigations and we're at these homes where the tensions are getting high, the point is to be fair.
Yep.
And we have a strong sense of equity and injustice. I can feel that.
Yep.
And that's why I'm in this business is I want to help people. That's why you guys do what you do.
Yeah.
And so you always talk about fairness. And so if you are advocating a position, I've seen it, where the builder has a reasonable response and guidelines are guidelines.
Yeah.
The workmanship standards are what they are. There is some gray area. And when you say, you know what, I think that's fair, or that's a fair compromise, that's what you want. You want to be, fair. You want to be just. You want a good result for your client. And that's all we can hope for.
Yeah, totally. I get people call me all the time. It's like, hey, on your home inspection report, you say that there's a chip on the countertop. And it's like, I want the builder to fix that. And I'm like, but the reasonability is you had 10 days to report the chips. Did you get an inspection prior to buying the home? No, I didn't. Well, why not? Well, because I thought it was a new build. And I'm like, okay, then you can't call the builder a year later and tell them. They don't know if it was your coffee cup or if it was like, I mean, honestly, I'm not saying that you did it or the builder did it, but the reasonability is you're not going to win that. So you want to pick a different fight, I've got your back. But I can file this all day, but we're not going to win.
And we could put it in our list, but you got to understand.
It costs nothing to ask.
Yes, but they can say no.
The expectation is you're probably not going to win that.
We're
so
not
I think there's got to be reasonability, because then you lose your credibility.
Yeah.
And your report loses its credibility. And the report is, you have to have credibility in the report. That's what's super important.
Oh, I did want to touch on a certain statement I made earlier. I said you had 2 years from when they touched the house or work, when they perform work, right? So, and if you have a question, just email me or call my office. Just wanted to clarify that.
No, and I think it's a great opportunity also to clarify the fact that if a builder comes in and replaces all of the flooring, it's actually 2 years from the moment they replaced all the flooring.
Yeah,
so you could be
work.
4 years of owning the house, but now if they replace that flooring at the 2 year or just before the 2 year mark, you actually now have a new extended floor warranty.
New extended warranty, yeah.
If they replaced all the floor, if they just replaced a tile, then it's just a new warranty on that tile. But most likely, I mean, if you're gonna have an issue, you better report it now.
Yeah,
because it's
absolutely. Yeah, I would never sit on your rights. That's homeowners, don't waive your rights. Don't sit on it. When you see something, call Sean, get his office involved.
Yeah. If you need any real estate help, you got the beautiful Miss Nikki here. She's an amazing real estate agent. But by the way, if I do your home inspection, she cannot be your real estate agent.
We can't work together.
We do not work together because we are ethical, and I think that is a conflict of interest, and we will not do that. Make sure you're sending us any of your questions. We want to make sure that we're answering those. Any closing comments?
Nope. Thanks for having me.
I have a question. Can I ask a question?
Do it.
Actually, I didn't want to do this, but while you guys were talking, you started talking about the process, and you said, and if you get to the point where a citation is actually issued against the builder, and I may be using the wrong verbiage here.
Sure.
My question is there a place, I mean, there's a place where people can go look up, see if there's been complaints filed against my license. Is there a place that a buyer or an agent, if I'm just trying to educate myself on what builders are really deep swimming in citations versus which aren't, is there a website we can go to, buyers can go to, consumers can go to check how many citations are against a builder's license?
I would offer two suggestions, and I tell this to clients all the time. Go to the Maricopa County Superior Court website and look up the builder or general contractor or developer, whoever you purchased the home from or have had remodeling work at it, and look their name up and see how many complaints have been filed against that builder or developer. That's one place. I don't know it off the top of my head.
So that's the
Google
Maricopa
it.
County Superior Court?
Yes, correct.
And you're going to
look up docket listings. It's just a pull-up click, and then type in the name.
Okay.
That's really difficult too, because a lot of the builders go under a separate name, so it makes it very hard.
Oh, I know they have holding names and doing hard business as and
Yeah, that's true. So then if you really want to dig in, you go to the Arizona Corporation Commission, type in the name, see what they have, and where the rabbit hole leads you. The ROC, you can look up the builder's name.
Okay.
Hopefully you have the right one. Like you said, the ROC number will be there too if you punch in builder's name. The ROC should pull up. And they should have a list of, at the very bottom, you got to scroll down, open complaints.
Okay.
Years ago, they would have all the complaints, and if they got closed, they would still show. They changed that. So if they close it, it doesn't show anymore.
So that would just be for open complaints?
From my understanding, it's open complaints. Generally speaking, I think, I don't know if these big builders, I don't even bother to look because the big builders have complaints. There's all over the time. But when I have a small custom home build, I want to see that.
Yeah.
I want to see if they've been sued. Then I go that extra step a lot where I'll go to the actual court records, the ECR, if I can, and pull the complaints to see.
Is that public?
It is, but you've got to physically go downtown.
Oh, okay. So it's not something that's uploaded and
digital. You can go downtown and you can find out the CV, the case number is what we call. And you can find that out, go downtown to the court records department. It's by the jail. and you can make a request, and then you got to photocopy it. I'm sure there's a way to do it online for the public. I just don't know what it is.
Okay.
And that's just doing extreme due diligence.
Okay.
The big boys, they're going to have complaints. I wouldn't put much stock. But, small developers, custom home builders, good place to go.
Yeah.
Interesting. Thanks.
Yeah, good question.
Any other questions?
Not really. I mean, if we're just kind of being fun, and I asked you this one earlier, and I don't know if you ever came up with any, but if there was any one thing that you could suggest an agent never do, what would it be?
Well, lie. Misrepresent.
Something we need to stop doing.
Yeah.
An error that you're seeing we make over and over and over and over. Just stop doing this.
I don't know what the old proverb, or what is it with, the old Soviet Union, trust them but verify.
Right.
I guess trust what your client tells you, but verify just to confirm.
For sure.
If they're saying there's only so much you can do. Yeah, we've never had any leaks in the plumbing. You can't really do much there. But if something sparks your fancy when you're walking through the house, ask them. Oh, I'm talking about resales mostly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just really do your diligence to protect your behind.
Yeah.
Because as we know, disclose
Right.
is the rule of the game.
Right.
And so, I have those cases, and it ebbs and flows. I've had several of those non-disclosure cases with realtor agents.
Is that probably the biggest
That's-
cause for lawsuit you see after
That's
a
what I see.
transaction
Yeah,
closes?
that's what I see.
Non-disclosure?
I mean, someone comes to me and says, "Oh my God, my roof." I open up the closet, and funny, when we actually went through the walkthrough, they hadn't taken all the boxes out of the closet, but they said they just hadn't done that yet.
Right.
When they took them out, and then we came a week later when we got our keys,
Right.
and we opened and we saw there was a black,
Right,
thing we
right.
thought was mold. Stuff like that.
Yeah. Yep.
So if you have a question, trust your gut as a realtor.
Disclosure is huge. I would just like to add, oftentimes it's not the most convenient document to fill out.
No.
We're not allowed to fill out. So we have something called the SPUDS. Oh gosh, it's going to test the seller's
Property disclosure statement.
disclosure statement. Yeah. But it's not SPUDS.
No.
It's SPDS. Oftentimes there's going to be a lot of questions on there that you guys don't know the answers to, and so your first reaction is to go to your agent and say, "Can you help me fill this out? Can you answer this question for me?" I can't. And it's not because I don't want to. It's not because I don't want to be helpful. It is because you are required as the seller to fill that document out as thoroughly and as honestly as you can. And if you get into a situation where it was a non-disclosure situation, well, my agent told me to put that. Guess who's going to court with you now? So we don't really allow it to be filled out electronically just because that leaves more room for error. I know my clients, I don't allow you to fill it out electronically, and I know that's a pain in the butt because everybody loves click, 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 send. I want you to print it. I want you to fill it out by hand. I want you to wet signature it, and that is because I'm protecting you.
I ain't got time for that.
That I know, but it is because, he's sitting here saying the biggest lawsuit he sees after transactions end is non-disclosure. I'm going to ask you to fill it out as openly, honestly, and as thoroughly as you can, and I'm going to ask you to do it by your own hand so that you can say that you filled that out. That was information by you. We don't want to do this digitally so that something got left off. Technology is what it is. Things glitch, things get left off. Wait a minute, when I click send, it was there and now it's gone. At any rate, disclose. Be honest and disclose.
My closing thoughts, I would say get the inspection. Be careful who you trust. Record everything. And if you want to help, if you need help filing the ROC complaint, please give me a call. And with that, if you're looking for us on social media or anywhere, just look up Sean the Jarhead. You can also look up Good Look, not Good Luck, Good Look Home Inspections. We're pretty easy to find. Preppy Jarhead, these are all things that you can type in pretty much anywhere you can find us. I think that is a great episode with some amazing information. Thank you. And thank you guys so much for being here today. And we'll say thank you to RSN attorneys. Please refer to them. All their contact information is showing on the screen right now so that you guys can contact them anytime you have legal needs. I'll also say thank you to Grand Canyon Gains. If you're into supplements or anything like that, vitamins, collagen, the creatine, all of that stuff, use the keyword Jarhead. You can go to grandcanyongains.com, use the keyword Jarhead, and we'll close on 3 more. That is going to be Semper Fidelis, God bless, and thank you so much.